not your LSAT score. You are not the law school you go to. You are not your GPA. You are a collection of life experiences. You are a collection of your family experiences. You are a collection of cultural experiences. You are a collection of activities, hobbies, and things that you have contributed to this world. And what you can contribute to the practice of law and to this world, nobody else can contribute. I'm here to give you all the tea on all things law, lifestyle, and Jesus. So today we're going to be talking about how you can select the right schools to apply to, the proper law schools for you. And so I have some tips. I took notes per usual so that I don't leave anything out. I want to help you as much as possible. If you have any questions, then just comment below. I have a heart for this, for helping people get into the law schools of their choice, especially people of color. You don't have to be a person of color for me to help you, disclaimer, but I especially have a heart for that. So leave any comments, and if this is helpful for you, then like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So I'm gonna get into it. How do I choose the right law school? First, you want to think about one, what do I want to do with my law degree? So if you know that there's a specific area that you want to practice in, and this good for you if you know this, because one of the beautiful things about a law degree is that it's, I think, the most versatile degree that you can have. There's so much that you can do with a law degree. You could be a law professor. You can practice in all these different areas, or maybe you won't even practice the law in a conventional way. But know what you want to do, and then look at the schools that cater to that. So if I'm someone who's interested, I don't know, in human rights, and I go to a school that's all about big law and sending people to corporate law, then maybe they're not really going to cater to my needs. So you want to look into that, and Google is helpful. So the second thing you want to think about is, what do I want my law school experience to be like? But let me backtrack to the first one with what do I want to do with my law degree? There are certain employers, if you want to work for them, that heavily recruit from certain schools. So you want to make sure you have that information so that you can position yourself to be at those schools that they prefer to recruit from. All right. So the second part is, what do I want my law school experience to be like? So we go into law school and we have these big ideals about what we want to do when we finish, but the experience that you have while you're in law school is very important too. Okay. There are so many studies that link being an attorney or a law student to depression, anxiety, and alcoholism. So you want to make sure you're in a space that's not going to contribute to that. You're already going to have a lot of grueling work to do, so you want to do it in an environment that is suitable for you. And so one way that you can figure out information about these schools, whether they cater to what you want your law school education to look like, is to visit those schools and talk to students at those schools. They will be honest with you. Or to watch YouTube videos of people who go to those law schools. They'll be honest there as well. And there are a lot of law student vloggers. So the third thing is, you want to look at the school's bar passage rate. And you can just really Google this, because the bar is an exam that you take after you graduate law school. You take the bar, and you have to pass the bar to be eligible to actually practice as an attorney. You want to go to a school that's actually teaching to a caliber that prepares students to actually be able to practice the law, right? What good is a law degree if you don't get to really practice the law to the full extent? So you want to look that up. The next thing is, you want to look at what percentage of the school's graduates typically graduate with a job waiting for them. We know that law school can be expensive, so you don't want hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt, and you're graduating with a degree, and people from that school typically don't have job offers. And so you're graduating with no job, but you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And I don't say this to scare you, because I am in law school, yes, with scholarship, but also a lot of student loans. But I'm not afraid of that, because before I selected my law school, I looked at, okay, how many of them are graduating with jobs? What's the average starting salary of those people graduating with jobs from that school? If you want to look at the video for how I selected my law school, then I'll link it here. in the video and below as well. You can watch it. You want to know that how many of them are graduating with jobs. You can look that up on Google as well. So the next thing that you want to look at is, what is the average starting salary for their graduates? This is more of a softer factor. It doesn't have to be as heavily weighed, but if you are concerned about paying off your debt, then seeing which employers recruit from them and how much they're typically paying them, that would be useful. And then the next thing you want to consider is to what extent and how often you absolutely need to be able to see your family. So some people have to go to law school very close to family within the same state or even within the same city because they know that for their sanity, they have to see family. Family is very important to me as well, but I went to undergrad in a different state. So I kind of got accustomed to being independent and being in the world on my own. So for me, more of a factor was, where do I want to live? What can be an exciting city, more than can I be able to drive to see my family every weekend? But know yourself and do not feel ashamed if you know you need to have that, because that is very important. The next thing to look at is to consider the school's scholarship details, because some schools, they'll give you a scholarship. Okay, when you apply, they'll say, okay, you have the grades, GPA, LSAT score, as well as just personal things about you that you can contribute that lead us to think that you are deserving of this scholarship. Then what happens is, after you complete 1 year of law school, that scholarship has to be renewed. Complete another year, it has to be renewed for your 3rd year. And so some schools just simply say, in order for your scholarship to renew, all that you need is to remain in good academic standing, which is pretty simple, like, good academic standing. Some schools, however, say that you need to have a certain rank, like you need to stay within the top 50% of your class or within the top 25% of your class. And so you can see there how maybe you could go into law school with these funds, and then depending on how you do, they could be snatched away if you aren't able to maintain that rank. So then you'll be paying more money than you anticipated for law school. Some schools require you to just maintain a certain GPA, which is similar to the rank thing, that you don't know really what could happen. Just having the condition of remaining in good academic standing is amazing, because that's easier to do. My school says you have to stay within the top 50% of your class, but to me, that's easy to do as well. So if they started talking about like top 5%, like top 10%, then it gets a little more like out of your control, but 50% is fine. So the next thing you want to consider is to look at the average and median GPA and LSAT score of schools to estimate your odds of getting in. So if you go to a school's website, typically, or just type in Google the name of that school and then type in average LSAT and GPA score, you will see the people that they're letting into each class. They give you a class profile and they're letting you know, okay, the median GPA of the people we accepted was this. The median LSAT score of the people we accepted was this. And this information gives you a chance to see how likely it is that you would get in. Now, with that, I want you to keep in mind not to be discouraged though, because the median is just the median. There are people who fall on the left and the right of that, right? So some people are higher and lower, and they still got in. You want to have schools that are like your dream schools, even if they are above what you think you can get into, because you just might. You want to have schools that are also maybe safety schools. Like, they're not terrible, they're good and decent schools, but you know that you likely have a better chance of getting into them. It would be a good idea for you to apply not only to your dream schools, but also to those schools that would be good for you, and also that you have a higher chance of getting into. I just want to end with some encouragement to conclude, and that is that you are not your LSAT score, you are not the law school you go to, you are not your GPA. You are a collection of life experiences. You are a collection of your family experiences. You are a collection of cultural experiences. You are a collection of activities, hobbies, and things that you have contributed to this world. And what you can contribute to the practice of law and to this world, nobody else can contribute. You are unique and you are worthy, and you will end up at the law school that is right for you. So aim wherever you want to aim, and you're gonna land where you're supposed to be. Have faith in that, whether you're Christian or not. Just have faith in that. And your law school experience is what you make it. I'm gonna have a video that I'll link below or in the cards that will talk about whether law school rank matters. And my video on why I selected my law school kind of speaks to that as well. So I've already said I'll link that, so it's been linked. But there's more to a law school than the rank of the law school. If there is a school you want to get into, I encourage you to go ahead and apply, because you never know what can happen. Anyway, I hope this information was helpful for you. If it was, like it, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure if you have any questions, let me know. I am here to serve you, to make this journey for you easier, and just to demystify the law school application process, law school, and eventually the legal field for everyone. So thank y'all for watching. Bye.